Hello, future mathematicians. Welcome to an exciting journey into the world of circles for CBSE Class 9 Mathematics. Today, we are diving deep into a fascinating concept, the converse theorem about equal angles and concyclic points. Have you ever wondered how we can prove if multiple points lie on the same circle without actually drawing it? That's what this theorem helps us do. We'll start with the basics, then explore its proof, advanced applications, and even competitive insights. Get ready for a 4-level adventure to master this crucial geometric idea. Ready to unlock a secret about points on a circle? Let's begin with the easy steps. First, what exactly are concyclic points? Simply put, they are points that all lie on the circumference of the same circle. Imagine a circle, and if you place 4 dots on its edge, those dots are concyclic. Now, you might recall a theorem that states, angles subtended by the same arc at the circumference are equal. For example, if A, B, C, D are concyclic, then the angle formed by chord CD at point A, which is angle CAD, will be equal to the angle formed by the same chord CD at point B, which is angle CBD. This is a fundamental property you've learned. Today, we are flipping this idea around. We are looking at the reverse or converse of this rule. So, what's the converse? It's incredibly useful. The converse states, if 2 points, say C and D, create equal angles at 2 other points, A and B, and these points A and B are on the same side of the line segment CD, then all 4 points A, B, C, and D must lie on the same circle. Think of it as a special test. If you measure 2 angles, like angle CAD and angle CBD, and they are equal, and A and B are on the same side of CD, then bingo. You've just proven that A, B, C, D are concyclic. For instance, if angle PRQ is 30 degrees and angle PSQ is also 30 degrees, and R and S are on the same side of PQ, then P, Q, R, S are concyclic. This theorem is a powerful way to prove points are on a circle without needing to draw one. Now it's your turn to apply what you've learned. Try these 3 practice questions. Read them carefully, visualize the points and angles, and use the converse theorem to determine if the points are concyclic. Remember to pay attention to the same side condition. Pause the video, solve them, and then check your understanding. Ready to dive a bit deeper? Let's explore the converse theorem with more detail and understanding. Before we tackle the proof, let's quickly revisit the direct theorem, angles in the same segment. This theorem is the bedrock of our current topic. It simply means that if you have a circle and a chord, say CD, then any angles formed by this chord at other points on the circumference, on the same side of the chord, will be equal. For example, if A, B, C, D are already known to be on a circle, then angle CAD will always equal angle CBD. The term concyclic points itself just means points that share a common circle. The direct theorem helps us find equal angles if points are concyclic. Now, the converse theorem is our tool to prove points are concyclic if we find these equal angles. The converse theorem statement is precise. If a line segment, let's call it CD, subtends equal angles at 2 other distinct points, A and B, and these points A and B lie on the same side of the line segment CD, then all 4 points A, B, C, D are concyclic. It's crucial to remember both conditions. The angles must be equal, and the points subtending them must be on the same side of the segment. If these 2 conditions are met, then you can confidently conclude that a single circle passes through all 4 points. This provides a clear, logical way to establish concyclicity, which is incredibly useful in various geometry problems. So, why does this converse theorem actually work? Let's explore the proof idea. Imagine we have points C, D, and A, and we know angle CAD is, say, alpha. We are given another point B on the same side of CD, and angle CBD is also alpha. We want to prove A, B, C, D are concyclic. We can always draw a unique circle through any three non-collinear points, so let's draw a circle passing through C, D, and A. Now, consider point B. It has three possibilities. B could be on the circle, inside the circle, or outside the circle. If B were inside or outside, we could use the exterior angle property of triangles or properties of angles subtended by a chord to show that angle CBD would not be equal to angle CAD, which contradicts a given information. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that B must lie on the circle. This elegant proof by contradiction confirms that A, B, C, D are indeed concyclic. Time to put your understanding to the test with these 5 medium-level practice questions. These problems require a slightly deeper application of the converse theorem, sometimes involving other geometric concepts. Remember to carefully identify the line segment, the angles it subtends, and confirm the same side condition. Take your time, draw diagrams if it helps, and work through each problem step by step. Good luck! Ready to tackle some more challenging aspects? Let's elevate our understanding of this theorem. Let's delve into a more rigorous, step-by-step proof of the converse theorem. The statement remains, if a line segment CD subtends equal angles at 2 points A and B on the same side of CD, then A, B, C, D are concyclic. We'll use proof by contradiction. First, we assume the opposite, that B does not lie on the circle passing through C, D, and A. Since C, D, and A are non-collinear, a unique circle, let's call it S, passes through them. Now, if B is outside circle S, draw a line from C through B, intersecting the circle at B. Since A, B, C, D are concyclic, angle CBD equals angle CAD. However, in triangle BDB, angle CBD is an exterior angle, so it must be greater than angle CBD. This means angle CAD is greater than angle CBD, which contradicts a given condition that angle CAD equals angle CBD. This disproves B being outside the circle. Continuing our rigorous proof, we now consider the second possibility for point B. What if B lies inside the circle S? Again, we draw a line from C through B, extending it to meet the circle S at point B. As before, A, B, C, D are concyclic, so angle CBD equals angle CAD. However, in triangle BBD, angle CBD is an exterior angle, which means it must be greater than angle CBD. This implies angle CBD is greater than angle CAD. This once again contradicts our initial given condition that angle CAD equals angle CBD. Since both cases, B outside and B inside, lead to contradictions, our original assumption that B does not lie on the circle must be false. Therefore, B must lie on the circle, and thus A, B, C, D are concyclic. It's also crucial to re-emphasize the same side condition. If A and B were on opposite sides of CD, then for concyclicity, the sum of angles CAD and CBD would be 180 degrees, not necessarily equal. This condition is what makes the theorem specific and powerful. This converse theorem is not just an isolated fact, it's deeply connected to other important concepts, especially cyclic quadrilaterals. A quadrilateral is cyclic if all its 4 vertices lie on a single circle. Our theorem provides a direct way to prove that 4 points form a cyclic quadrilateral. If you find 2 equal angles subtended by a diagonal on the same side, you've proven the quadrilateral is cyclic. When solving problems, always look for a common line segment that might be subtending angles. Identify if 2 points create equal angles at 2 other points, and crucially, always verify they are on the same side of that segment. A common pitfall for students is neglecting this same side condition, or confusing it with the property of opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral summing to 180 degrees. Always differentiate between these two distinct but related conditions. You've now explored the rigorous proof and connections of the converse theorem. It's time to tackle these 7 challenging practice questions. These problems will require you to combine the converse theorem with other geometric properties, possibly involving auxiliary constructions or multiple steps of reasoning. Think critically, draw precise diagrams, and apply your knowledge of circles and angles. Don't be afraid to try different approaches. Take your time and push your understanding to the next level. Welcome to the hardest level. Here, we'll push the boundaries of this theorem, exploring its advanced implications and competitive applications. Get ready for a deep dive. The converse theorem about equal angles and concyclic points is a foundational piece in classical Euclidean geometry, but its impact stretches far beyond a simple proof. It's a specific instance of a broader principle, conditions for points to share a common circle. While any 3 non-collinear points define a unique circle, for 4 or more points, it's not always guaranteed. Our theorem provides a powerful test for the 4-point case. This idea of concyclicity is generalized in higher geometry, leading to concepts like the Simpson line, where pedal points from a point on a circumcircle are collinear, or Michel's theorem, which involves the concurrency of multiple circles formed from a triangle. These advanced theorems often rely on repeated applications of basic concyclicity principles, demonstrating how fundamental this concept truly is. Let's consider this concept from a more analytical perspective, touching upon coordinate geometry and a powerful theorem called power of a point. In coordinate geometry, 4 points are concyclic if their coordinates satisfy the general equation of a circle. This involves solving a system of equations or using a determinant condition, providing an algebraic way to verify concyclicity. The power of a point theorem states that for any point P and a circle, if a line through P intersects the circle at A and B, then the product PA times PB is constant. The converse of this is also incredibly useful. If you have 4 points A, B, C, D, and lines up and CD intersect at P such that PA times PB equals PC times PD, then A, B, C, D are concyclic. This theorem, often combined with our angle converse, offers an engineering insight, a robust, quantitative method to confirm geometric properties, much like engineers use precise calculations to validate structural designs. It's a versatile tool in competitive math. Mastering advanced geometry problems often hinges on strategic auxiliary constructions and meticulous angle chasing. Many competitive-level questions don't just hand you the concyclic points. You need to draw extra lines, segments, or even circles to reveal the hidden concyclicity. For instance, drawing a circumcircle through 3 points might show you where the 4th point must lie. Or, constructing common chords between intersecting circles can highlight cyclic quadrilaterals. Angle chasing is the art of systematically using all known angle theorems angles in the same segment, cyclic quadrilateral properties, tangent chord theorem, and so on to find relationships. The converse theorem often serves as the crucial final step after you've successfully equated a pair of angles. Moreover, proof by contradiction, which we used for the formal proof, is a robust and elegant method to establish concyclicity when direct approaches seem elusive, making it a vital technique in your problem-solving toolkit. Concyclicity is a cornerstone concept, frequently appearing in mathematics Olympiads and advanced entrance examinations. Problems often weave together the converse theorem with other sophisticated ideas like similarity, properties of orthocenters or centroids, and the power of a point. Successful competitive problem solvers develop an intuition for recognizing configurations that imply concyclicity, such as the presence of right angles, which often suggest a diameter, or 2 equal angles looking at the same segment. This engineering insight isn't about building bridges, but about constructing elegant mathematical arguments from fundamental principles. The ability to rigorously prove concyclicity moves beyond simply seeing a circle. It's about analytically demonstrating its existence. This understanding is critical for higher mathematics, forming a basis for fields like projective and inversive geometry, where circles are central to complex transformations and properties. You've explored the depths of concyclicity. Now, challenge yourself with these first 5 extremely difficult questions. These problems demand a comprehensive understanding, often requiring multiple theorems, advanced constructions, and creative problem solving. Don't get discouraged if they seem tough. Competitive math is all about persistence and logical thinking. Read each question carefully, draw detailed diagrams, and try to connect the given information to the various conditions for concyclicity. Good luck, and remember, every attempt is a step towards mastery. Here are the final 5 questions to truly test your mettle. These are designed to be at the pinnacle of difficulty, pushing your analytical and geometric reasoning skills to their limits. They might involve combining concepts like orthocenters, angle bisectors, tangents, and more. Think about how different theorems interact and how you can use auxiliary lines to simplify complex figures. This level of problem solving is what separates good from great in mathematics. Take your time, apply all the strategies you've learned, and strive for elegant solutions. You've got this. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the converse theorem of equal angles and concyclic points. We've journeyed from understanding the basic definition to exploring rigorous proofs, advanced applications, and competitive exam strategies. Mastering this concept is a vital step in your mathematical journey, opening doors to more complex and beautiful geometric ideas. If you found this session insightful and want to explore more such detailed educational content, visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting lessons and to stay updated with our latest offerings. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep excelling in your studies. See you in the next session.